While I have you, I want to ask about the FBI search at Mar-a-Lago. You said this week that you don't want to prejudge because you have been prejudged in your life. I know your infamous emails were investigated, you were cleared, but you've dealt with classified information as former Secretary of State, as a senator. If the Justice Department decides that former President Donald Trump actually committed a crime, do you think he should be treated like any other citizen? Or should the DOJ take into account the potential real-world consequences of indicting a former president and potential 2024 candidate?
I think it's a really hard call, and I cannot predict what the Justice Department will do at the end of its investigation. But I do think the rule of law, holding people accountable, is central to our nation. And both as Secretary of State and as a private citizen, I have answered every question I've ever been asked. I've testified for 11 hours. I've, been involved in anything that was asked of me to try to answer any kind of issue. I think that's the way the system is supposed to work, even if you are, not sure why you're being with the spotlight on you. And therefore, I really believe that at the end of the day, no one is above the law and no one should be escaping accountability if indeed the facts and the evidence point to them having done something that anyone else in our country would be investigated for and maybe even charged.
So it sounds like you're saying that he should be treated like he would if he was Donald J. Trump, somebody who was a civilian, an average citizen, not a former president or potential candidate?
I do, because he's not the president, and we do have some special exceptions for someone actually in the office. So I do think that just like any American, if there is evidence, that evidence should be pursued. But I know it's not an easy call, and so I don't want to inject, my opinion into that difficult calculation, because I don't know all the facts. And unlike people who jump to conclusions, I don't want to do that. But if the evidence proves or seems to show that there are charges that should be leveled, then I think the rule of law should apply to anyone.
Madam Secretary, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gave an interview this week, and she was talking about how she feels conflicted when little girls tell her that they want to be president. She said, "I never want to tell a little girl what she can't do." But she's seen how many people, quote, hate women. And sometimes she believes she lives in a country that would never let that happen. You got closer than any other woman in this country to being president. What do you think?
Well, I think it's sad that we have so many people who seem to either resent or oppose women in the public arena, whether it's politics and government or the media or anything else. That's something we have to keep standing up against and speaking out against. And I think that a woman will become our president at some point. I certainly understand all of the obstacles you have to overcome to get there. But I continue to tell young women and girls that if they feel motivated to pursue political office, they should do so with their eyes wide open about how hard it is. And unfortunately, social media, with all of its misogyny, has made it more difficult. But we can't be bullied into silence or giving up on our own dreams. We have to continue to pursue them and encourage others to do the same.